What up, y'all? How y'all doing this morning? Hey, man, listen. I've been knowing this. I've known it. I've known it and I've known it, but I could not prove it until now. DraftKings, FanDuel, Underdogs. It's all a scam, y'all. The individual player prop bets, it's a scam. The players are in on it. Listen, they arrested Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier last night. And Terry Rozier has said something about pulling his. I mean, no, they arrested a guy last year, from Toronto, and cause look, I played the DraftKings. Excuse me, I played the DraftKings Pick Six, where you pick six players, and you pick more or less, like DeAndre Ayton getting more or less 7.5 rebounds. And then 80% of the public puts their money on him getting over. He get to 7 rebounds, and guess what? Oh man, I got tightness in my calf. Got to come out of the game. Having a hell of a game. Scored 30, got 35 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, but everybody's got their money on the rebounds. And then when he gets right to the threshold of breaking it, oh man, I strained an abductor. Oh, my neck's, oh man, I got to come out of the game, coach. My neck's tight. It's all a fucking scam, y'all. I'm going to give you an example. I'm just going to tell y'all. I play fantasy, all right? Puka Nacua plays for the Los Angeles Rams. Every game this year, this dude had 13 catches, 180 yards a game, 2 touchdowns. I mean, just killing it. All right, so that went on for 4 or 5 weeks. Well, then when everybody says, okay, this guy is for real, and he's going to put up these numbers every week. So then 2 weeks ago, including myself, everybody picked Puka Nacua. Guess what happened? First down quarter, he goes up for a catch, comes down, don't even touch nobody, has to go to the locker room. He's got soreness in his ankle. Now everybody that just put their money on Nacua, now it's a loss. And then I'll give you another one. Last week, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown ain't did shit all year. They ain't had more than 9 or 10, 13 maybe fantasy points all year. And then, usually they get 25 and 30 a game. They ain't did shit all year long. Last week, I put them on the bench because they ain't doing nothing. Well, guess what happens? One of them had 180 yards receiving. The other one had 150. Both of them had touchdowns. And nearly everybody put them on the bench because they wasn't. I'm telling y'all, the NFL, the NBA, all of it is rigged, y'all. Y'all think of this. They say Vegas comes up with these lines by studying stats and historical this and that. That's a crock of fucking shit, man. Okay, pardon my language, y'all, but this heats me up. All right. Listen, they ain't no way that these people can say, well, this team's a 8.5 point favorite or a 7.5 point favorite, and then they only win by 7. You know what I mean? Like they know the line because it's all script. Man, I'm telling y'all, these players that come out hurt and shit, they not hurt, man. They've got big money. Look here, I wouldn't put it past DraftKings, FanDuel, any of them to go to these players and say, hey, look, if you'll pull yourself out before so many catches or so many yards, we'll pay you $2 million. Because if we don't pay you the $2 million, we're going to end up losing $35 million. So it's worth $2 million to us to keep the other 33. If y'all don't think that happens, then I mean, I know it does. And now it's come out. Like I said, they arrested Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier for not throwing the lines now. But what's the biggest thing that's come about in the past few years? Online sports betting, where you pick the individual player prop bets, okay? And how many of y'all, if you played it, have picked somebody they got? And they always put a half on there so you can't never push. You know, it's always 8.5 rebounds or 9.5 rebounds. And they'll get 9. Or if you take less and it's 9.5, they'll get 10. Whichever way, listen, Vegas is controlled by the mob, y'all. I don't care what they say. And not the traditional mob. There's a new, all right, Vegas phased out the Chicago, Kansas City, New York mob years ago. And then big industry, big money come in and took over. They're a mob too, y'all. You think they don't have people killed? You think they don't have people knocked off and shit? You think they don't control? I mean, that's just like the Jared Goff situation a few weeks ago. Before the game, Dan Campbell went to the NFL referees and said, hey, if we get down in a certain goal line situation, we're going to run a play where David Montgomery throws a pass to Jared Goff for a touchdown. Is there any problems with that? The referees told him, nope, no problem at all. Well, they throw the touchdown, rule it a touchdown, guess what? New York calls. Oh, no, that's not a touchdown. Matter of fact, it's not even a touchdown, but call a penalty on it too and give the ball back to Kansas City. I mean, so here's what I wish everybody that bet sports would do this, because this would fucking break Vegas. If everybody would bet on Kansas City every week, I'm talking about everybody, put all your money on Kansas City Chiefs and make Vegas take them losses. Make them lose 30 or 40 million every week. Watch and see how long the Kansas City Chiefs keep winning. Watch and see. I promise you, if everybody, 100% of the bettors, put their money on the Kansas City Chiefs for the rest of the season, watch and see how many games Kansas City will win. They're not, listen, Vegas is not going to lose money, y'all. You can go and look, there's websites, you can go and look and see how much, what percentage of all the money that week was bet on which teams and all that. If everybody put 100% of their money on the Chiefs, I guarantee the Chiefs would start a losing streak. They're not going to lose money, y'all. Vegas, I mean, look what they do. They find players that they can corrupt. You know, hey, look, man, you know, we'll pay you $1 million cash, and because you're going to be saving us, you know, 20 or 30. What do you think them players are going to say? No, man, I got integrity, bro. I don't do that. Man, them motherfuckers gonna say, all right, yeah, let me get that $1 million in cash under the table. Nobody, no tax on it, no nothing. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all don't understand how big DraftKings and them are. Listen, these people are, it's huge. Huge, man. And it's fucking rigged. The whole thing is rigged, man. I've always thought it. Me and my dad used to sit out. When I lived with my dad a few years ago when I was going through a divorce or whatever, and we would play daily fantasy on Sundays. You know, we pick where you just pick like a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, and a flex. And then they all got a salary. Well, my dad, he's a pretty smart fella, and we would go through and try to pick these lineups. and they would have it set where like there was like a perfect looking lineup in our eyes. Like, oh, if we can get all these players right here, that'll probably hit. Well, guess what happens? You go to try to get that combination, and guess what? They'll set one player $100 lower so you can't get that combination. No matter which way you try to fix it around, you'll always come up $100 short. Now, if it was $200 and $300 and $600 and $1,000 every time, you know, if it was different amounts of money each time, I might understand it. But it's always the minimum amount that they have to take off to make you not be able to get that combo, $100. If their salary is $7,600, they'll make it $7,500 just so you can't get that combination of players, which usually ends up being the one that will get you the money. So, yeah, it's rigged, man. I almost want to file a damn lawsuit against DraftKings and ask for all my money back, because now, I mean, it's coming out. These guys they're fixing to have to take a plea deal and get up in court and say, yeah, I knew that I had my over and under was 9.5 on rebounds, and yeah, I would take myself out of games when I'd get to 8 or 9 rebounds. Because so and so, I'm anxious to hear who they gonna say. Which I don't even think the courts ever let it get that far, because I mean the government they've got to be tied into it too, man. I mean, man, it's a whole fucking scam with tens of millions of dollars every week going to these people. And now we find out what we've always suspected, that the players are in on it. I mean, think about it. If you had a company and you were going to lose $35 million on one weekend, but you knew there's a player you can call up and pay him $1 million and save 34, who wouldn't do that? I would. I'd do. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so think about it. It's just a whole scam, man. I wish, for real though, I wish everybody that bets would put all their money on the Kansas City Chiefs for the rest of the year. 100% of everybody. Because see, they want the Chiefs to win. But if everybody's got their money on them, they're not going to want them to win then, because they don't want to take them losses. I wish everybody would come out this week and put all their money on the Chiefs. Everybody. Put 100% of the money on the Chiefs. Watch and see how many wins they start getting. Them motherfuckers will go downhill fast. I'm telling y'all, it's money. That's all. Money runs everything. But anyway, that shit fires me up, man. I knew it was happening. I told my daddy, I told my daddy 2 years ago, I said, Daddy, these players have got to be in on it. I said, they've got to. I said, they like people like DraftKings or whoever, they've got to have somebody, a player in every team that they've corrupted. I mean, they've got to. Multiple players, if not, you know? I mean, there's no way a man's having a game, you know, can't nobody stop him, motherfucker get scoring every time he comes down the floor, pulling in every rebound, racking up assists. And then when you get right there to the threshold of breaking it where people's going to win money, oh man, I got soreness in my calf. And then the next night, I'm good now. I was just sore last night. How convenient that you had calf soreness right when everybody was about to win a bunch of money. And now they didn't because you had calf soreness after you was just having a magnificent game. Anyway, it's a scam. These motherfuckers need to be sued, man, for real. All these you can't tell me that I'm telling you, they don't make up. They don't make lines based off of what happened 2, 3. Listen, the teams change every year, y'all. players come, players go, coaches come, coaches go, different offensive schemes, different defensive schemes. There's no way you can say, you know what, I believe Philadelphia is going to be I believe they should win by about 11 points. And then they win by 10. Hey, man, that's bullshit. They rigged that. They set that up. They do it on purpose. I mean, how many times y'all been watching a game, and like Detroit a few years ago, they I think it was the divisional round or NFC championship. First half, they come out, put up a couple hundred yards of offense. I mean, they couldn't even stop them. Everybody had their money on Detroit. Guess what happened the second half? They couldn't even fucking get a yard. I mean, they couldn't even throw. Hell, they couldn't throw past 5 yards. You can't tell me that at halftime somebody didn't come in there and say, "Hey, shut it down. Y'all doing too much. Y'all gonna break the bank." And they gotta listen, cause see, they got contracts signed with the NFL. The NFL's entertainment, y'all. If you really dig into the rabbit hole and to check it out, the NFL is no different than WWE. I'm just being honest with y'all. Now, do they got people coming out and doing, no, they don't have, but it's entertainment. And I'm telling you, they're not going to lose money, y'all. I wish the people would get smart enough to break them. And the way you do that is you find these teams that, like the Chiefs, I mean, everybody knows. The hell, the college UTEP did a study on the calls for Kansas City, and they said they clearly, came to a conclusion that Kansas City gets favorable calls. They have been for years. The reason that is the NFL wants Pat Mahomes to be the face of the NFL. Like Michael Jordan was the face of the NBA, LeBron James was, they want Pat Mahomes to be, and so they want him in the Super Bowl every year, like they did Tom Brady. Every year they wanted Brady in that Super Bowl. You know why? Because everybody was going to watch it, and everybody was going to bet on it. Same way with Pat Mahomes. If Pat Mahomes makes it to the Super Bowl, what happens? Everybody watches it, everybody bets on it. I don't know. It's rigged. It's fucking rigged. I apologize for the language, but I'm just calling a spade, man. This whole sports gaming industry, DraftKings, Pick Six, FanDuel, Prize Picks, Underdogs, whatever their name is, they're all scamming, man. They're all scamming. And now it's coming out. They're starting to arrest players. And watch and see. I hope they get them all, man. I mean, you got people like me every now and then put a $5 down, try to pick a little line up, that might pay $400 if you got to hit 8 fucking picks. They call it a pick six. Listen to this now. DraftKings, pick six, which means you pick 6 players. And then you go to picking, and then it's 8. You got to pick 8 people. It's rigged, man. I'm telling y'all. I'm just glad that it's coming to light now. I'm glad that they're, because them guys are going to have to take a plea deal, and they're going to have to say, they're going to have to allocute, tell them what happened, why they did it, or they might roll over and tell who the head dog is that's making this happen. So I hope that it does come. I hope it comes out and they get caught. I hope DraftKings, I hope FanDuel, I hope all of them lose everything that they got. Because I mean they cheat folks every week, man. I've emailed them and asked them, why do y'all cheat? I mean, I know y'all are rigging this, and they're like, oh, it's just coincidence that they only get 8 rebounds when they got 8.5 for their total. Man, don't even do me like that. Don't insult me. You know. But anyway, me and my dad used to always say that we used to think that, like, when you play on DraftKings or even in a fantasy league, and like now they fixed it where you can't even talk to the other players. So you don't even know really if you're playing against somebody else or you're playing against an algorithm that's fixed so you can't win. How do you prove it? You can't prove it. There's no way you can, I mean, you don't know if you're playing other people or if you just paid $5 to play against DraftKings, a computer algorithm that somebody set up for them that's guaranteed to make everybody lose but DraftKings or FanDuel or whoever it is. But anyway, that shit, when I read that this morning, man, that stirred me up. So, if anybody else is, I don't know how many people, follow sports or, like to play the little daily games or whatever. But if you do, let me know what you think about it in the comments and stuff. Because, I mean, it's out now. We know now that they were rigging it. I mean, it specifically said, that the guy said that he was pulling himself out of games to manipulate his individual stats. Well, that's what every commercial you see on TV, what does it say? DraftKings, deposit $5 today and get $50 in free credits. You know why? Because they gonna get all $55 of that back. Because they got people they got players that'll throw their stats. You can't tell me it don't happen. I'll tell you another sign. People be having a game, man. Now think about this. If I'm a basketball player and I'm in the third quarter and I got 35 points and 10 rebounds and 8 assists, 2 blocks, and the coach says, "Oh, hey, let's take you out." What? No, I'm finna try to get 50, dog. I'm finna try to get a triple-double right here. Like, I'm not coming out. But they take them out. They'll take the whole starters out. Just so they won't cover a over. Or just so they won't, like you might pick somebody, like 80% of the public might pick so-and-so to get a triple-double. He'll fall one rebound, 1 assist, or 1 point short. Seriously. But anyway, all right, y'all.